everyone, I am Mahia Krwal and I welcome you to the fourth episode. HackByte 4.0 presents Axioms, your one step to get you covered. Axioms is our initiative to help everyone prepare for the better hackathon. Through this series, we aim to give you the insights and mindset needed to truly make the most out of your hackathon experience. Today's session focuses on a crucial theme, communicating what you build. Because here's the truth, what you build is not equal to what you communicate. A strong build with weak communication often goes unnoticed, while clear storytelling can make your work stand out. So today's session is all about learning how to present your work in a way that gets noticed, understood and appreciated. And to guide us through this, we are joined by Milind Deobhankar, who is currently the lead enterprise architect at Yodlee. With over 30 plus years of industry experience, he brings deep insights into not just building impactful solutions, but also communicating them effectively in real-world scenarios. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Milind Deobhankar. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Yeah, so in the hackathon, you put your all hard work or your efforts, correct, to build some project. But if you don't communicate properly, then there can be issues, correct? So the judge will not able to show you interest, or they will not pay attention to what you are presenting. So I will today in this session, I will try to what are the essentials of communication when while presenting your project. So I will go through the slide one by one. Okay. The first and the main objective is the narrative of the project. So narrative is nothing but like a picture trailer. So if the trailer is very good, correct, so then people will love to see the picture. So if trailer is boring, so they will avoid seeing the picture. So narrative act like this one. So what I will do, so in the entire project, I will also take some example, not take, so I will take one very simple example where everybody might be aware of the Bangalore traffic. So when you're building the project narrative, it is not about how the clean code or how complex code you've written or how the coolest UI you have developed. It is selling your vision, correct? Exactly. In our Bangalore problem statement, what is your vision is to solve the Bangalore traffic problem. So how we are going to solve, correct? So definitely this becomes your problem statement, correct? And this is the very important from the narrative perspective. What is the final aim goal? So definitely this how to solve the problem statement. The second steps come is the solutioning part, correct? So definitely Bangalore problems traffic is very important. So how we are going to solution it? For example, solution is like, okay, to solve the Bangalore traffic problem, I will integrate with Google Maps API, correct? I will create a sensors in the road. I will use cameras to detect the traffic movements, another part, correct? So this is the solutioning of part, but this is just a solutioning. But then what sort of technology or what is the logic behind it, correct? For example, from the Google map at any junction, I will find out, okay, who is going to go straight, who is going to go left, or who is going to go in right. But definitely there is a caveat, correct? Everyone has to have the Google Maps enabled when they are moving it, correct? Yeah. So that is like, what is the magic behind your solution, correct? Or what is the approach you are going to take, correct? That is very important to say. And based on this, the people will start showing interest or here's something new to tell or something is thinking out of the box. Correct? And definitely the final pitch, you have to make sure that what is the future impact. So definitely here in our Bangalore traffic policy, the impact is like, oh, by saving the traffic, you are going to save the fuel cost, you are going to save people's time. There are lots and lots of changes there. But definitely, so how is the project going to impact the life of the people? And definitely we're not able to do in one day, but that is definitely you have to showcase their at least one signal problem, how we are going to make it happen. So yeah, so another one is the pitch of the pitching. So when you go to any project's pitching, definitely you are not going to get 2 to 3 minutes, hardly you are going to get. It is not like you are going to get some more time. So pitching your script is nothing but like Instagram reels, correct? So they should be able to get everything in 3 minutes and they should start paying the attention, correct? So what I will suggest, correct, to the pitching the scripts, correct, you have to divide your whatever the available 1 or 2 minutes time into sections. So definitely the first section should be pain points, correct. What are the pain point you are going to solve? For example, in case of Bangalore traffic, is the traffic density or anything. Then the solution, which will act like a hero, correct? So what is the solution you are going to build? What is the solution? So solution is that you are going to use sensors, you are going to go to Google Maps, you are going to use it can be even the indicators detection, other thing. So that also comes to that solution should also very closely align to your logics, correct? You have to exactly say what is the logic in this one part. Then it should be very crystal clear and very brief. And definitely, and the last point is how it's going to impact. So once the solution is built, it can be, the impact is like it can be given to Bangalore traffic police, it can be given to any other city or internationally, another thing. So definitely you have to just remember that first 30 seconds are very crucial. So if your pitching is not right, correct, the people will start losing the interest. So the third is also the defense. So in the IT world and anywhere, correct? So anything can go wrong at any time, correct? So you should always prepare for the worst to happens. There can be any there can be Wi-Fi outage, there can be network issues, anything can happen. So definitely, in case of hackathon project, nobody is expecting that you should code for security breach or production outage or any other part, correct? So, but definitely you should be shield your everything. Like for example, in case of Wi-Fi, you should have backup of your hotspot. Instead of network, you use local host. And definitely, golden rule is you should create a video recording whenever your project is complete. So the first run, if it is successfully running, correct, you should create a one golden video or 2 minute recording. So in case if that doesn't work because of XYZ, so you can showcase your videos or recording, and then you can come back to the judges or all the audience that once the network is up or whatever the problem is solved. So definitely, again, another defense which many of them forget, correct? So in case of API world, now everything is API and everything is like one is dependent on other, correct? So, and everything data flows. So there is a, what is they call a, you should also ready with the mock data. So for example, in our case, if the Google API fails, correct, you should ready with the mock data, and then if you should have the feature flags, and if it fails, so you just make the feature flag on and still you're able to demo it. So another defense part is also is a physical defense. When I say physical defense, it is not like you fight with the judge or anybody. The physical defense, for example, many times what happens in a group of 4 people, 2 people know in and out, and 2 people are just for the sake of, they are just supporters, correct? So definitely you should have a very strong team strategy. Everyone should know at least something, and something that can be you have to also play a role swap preparation also, you have to do it. So the third one is also the curveballs, like how to get prepared. So there is definitely, when you develop a project, there can be lots of loopholes, correct? You might be knowing, judge also will be able to try to find out what are the loopholes in your project, correct? And they try to grill you. So what I will suggest, so always come up with the one good strategy which is followed by everybody is like create an appendix, correct? So these are the loopholes. So you might have not completed the code, or this is the loopholes. So you keep the appendix and put all this stuff into that appendix. Okay, for example, okay, we are not able to integrate with the sensors or anything in our project, something like that. And discover what is the very most important is you have to be very honest and ambitious. Right? So definitely there is no way in this world that, okay, you can be 100% accurate, correct? So you have to be very, very honest, and then you have to always say that, okay, if it is not done right now, so give me some time, or I can do it later on, also I can show you, or I can mail you the videos and other things. So that is the cowball, you have to be prepared. You can also use Gen AI, give your project sentence nowadays, and they can throw you some difficult question for you to answer. So many times what happens, so people, nowadays everything is available, everybody has access to everything, correct? So everyone thinks that this is just a wrapper app, correct? So you are definitely, when you are developing any project, so now the dependency is so high. So you have to, for in our case, you have to depend on Google Maps, then you have to depend on the sensors data, correct? So you are, so people will think you are just get a wrapper on top of Google Maps or something, correct? But then you have to eventually prove that your code is not orchestrated, or it is not a pass through for the Google Maps, but we have orchestrated lots of. So what is your business logic, correct? So for example, so you have to exactly show them the data journey. For example, okay, some car is approaching in our case, correct? So okay, we got a signal from Google Maps that 20 cars are going straight and 10 cars are going left, correct? Then we have to, what is our logic to signal the traffic signals and other part. So all this, the data journey has to be shown, and it should be orchestrated so that people will exactly know that it is not just a API, another API call. Definitely there will be some edge cases also. Whenever say edge cases, correct? So there will be some weird data and other parts, correct? So you should also prepare for that to handle it. And definitely you have to make the project interactive, and you have to show your muscles that okay, anything can happen. It is not just a wrapper call. So the show should go on. The very important aspect is the architecture. So architecture, what is the important part of the architecture? Definitely nobody is here willing that you should create a 50-page enterprise document, correct? But definitely you should create a very simple, crisp, clear architecture. So what are the guidelines for getting architecture? So definitely you should create which are the components in the system and how they will interact. For example, system is interacting with system with the protocol buff, or you are using some middleware also, you are using Postgres database, Mongo database, or you are using some Kafka queues or anything. You should all this articulate, and you should create what exactly how this end-to-end is going to work. So definitely, so some of the tips which I will give it, correct? So for you just think of some layer architecture or data flow diagrams, correct? Definitely you cannot complete it. There are so many architecture aspects, but definitely you should complete clear and clear picture how the project is going to work end to end. So because architecture is nothing but a blueprint. So whenever anybody thinks, oh, there is somebody will come to some problem statement, they should think, oh, these guys have developed this architecture. So they will first know. So blueprint architecture is a blueprint which will get set into the just everybody's mind. So any problem statement is, oh, they solve this problem like this, and then they can remember. Then it will come the team's name or individual names. But architecture is just a blueprint, and it is a snapshot what they are going to take along with them. Yeah. So nowadays lots of GenAI is there. So now when you want to create a project, so GenAI can help you immensely, correct? Finding out the facts or another thing. But GenAI, the biggest problem is hallucination, correct? So how does hallucination work, correct? So GenAI or LLM, correct? They are actually stateless, correct? So they don't know. So if you ask one thing, you ask another thing, then they will not. They have no idea what is you have asked previously. But for example, use ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is nothing but a agentic AI, and so whatever you asked previously, the same context is getting passed to the LLM. So you have to very make sure, correct, when to break away the context and when to clean up the memory. So another also very good thing is you should have closed book stuff, correct? So for example, I am asking, so somebody is asking something, so there should be closed book interaction with the LLM, which is very, very crucial. So you should avoid vague prompts because vague prompts is the culprit for the hallucination. So you should have a prompt like, oh, you give this prompt and give some samples or text, so that will be helpful. Another thing as a technical stuff, correct? So there is a temperature in LLM, correct? So you should put the temperature low, correct? So for example, from 0 to 0.1. By default, many times it works with 0.7 to 1.0. These temperature are creative. They are at very high creativity and very useful when you want to do some writing poems or brainstorming. But all this, if you put very high temperature, correct, then the problem will come, correct? when you are dealing with data or facts, so it will start hallucination. So this is some technical tip which I'm trying to give. So you can work on that. But there are so many other stuff. There are too many tools are also available. For example, you can integrate with LangChain and LangGraph and make sure that whatever the prompt is that you validate before giving to the end customer. But definitely, so well tested and well stuff, correct? So you should try to avoid hallucination as much as possible, because nowadays everything is Gen AI. So this is the tip usually very useful for your project. Yeah. So the fourth one is like, okay, whether my project, correct? So now whether my project is the end of the, once you submit the projects, whether it will be a startup or whether it is useful for open source or whether it is can be useful for learning or other thing, correct? So for example, you want to know that whether your project is startup, so definitely correct. So you are that, are you solving some specific problem which nobody has tried to solve, or you are solving with some great depth, correct? So if that is the case, correct, then definitely that is the ideal candidate for that one. So for the startup verdict, it is like, okay, so another thing is the application is also in this industry becoming a problem. So if you write something which cannot be easily replicate, correct, then again, so it is a very good candidate of startup. So for the open source work on mainly utility and extensibility. For example, you written some generic code, so can it be plugged into some other projects? Can it be extendable by somebody and use it by changing something? It can be used, correct? So if you are written, so that's how you can predict that, okay, my whatever I written, that is the open source productivity, and you can put on the GitHub, and you can also start using contribution hooks and other part. Ultimately, none of these work. So definitely you should think how my project can be used for learning for others, or it can be used for some other blog creations or content creation or even study material in college. So that is also very important stuff to uh, do. And the finally is the how you are going to differentiate. So what is the differentiation you are going to be? So definitely you are copying, pasting, or the same idea you're doing, correct? So that will not act as a differentiator. So in the past, people used to do the same library project for more than 300 to 500 times, correct? But that is not going to differentiation. So differentiation is like exactly what value add is going to do. So definitely value add, you are always thinking that, oh, for our example of Bangalore traffic project, I want to solve the Bangalore traffic project. That is a good idea, but that what value delivery are going to bring, correct? For example, in our case, the value, what we are targeting value delivery is we will automate the traffic signaling lights, correct? So that is a value delivery. So definitely, when the project, at least it should not show 100% value delivery, but at least it should show the working prototype. So that can be a very differentiator. So it is like what you speak, actually you do also. That is also important. So there are three pillars for this differentiation, correct? So differentiation can be based on efficiency, that you are doing something faster. Differentiation can be based on accuracy, you are doing something more reliable, or you are trying to help some people like blind people or handicap or anything, correct? And differentiation can also be based on technical edges or UX, definitely, because everyone is technical. So for example, you are writing multimodal agents or for this traffic problem signaling and other part, correct? So that is a differentiation which nobody has tried to do it. And ultimately, first and the final is the data is the king nowadays, correct? So based on the data also you can differentiate. For example, you are getting, in our case, you are getting lots of data from Google Maps. Now on top of the Google Maps, you will create some machine learning algorithm, then find out the probability of the vehicle coming at particular peak time. That is also differentiation. So this is very important in this stuff. So yeah, so at this juncture, correct? Yeah, so these are the main key aspects, and all the best for your upcoming projects. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful session. The way you broke down things with real examples like that Bangalore traffic and stuff made it much easier to understand, and how important it is to not just build but to communicate effectively so that our ideas truly stand out. And thank you to everyone for joining in this. We hope this session helps you to perform better in the upcoming hackathon and we're excited to see the amazing ideas you'll present. Until then, stay curious, keep building, and most importantly, keep communicating. Thank you.